Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Cartoon Life. Today we'll be covering the 8 dark SpongeBob theories that freaked us out. Let's get into the video. Before we dive into the video, I want to tell you guys a little bit about the 2 apps. The first being Sneaking Space Queen. You gotta tap cannon to change the sizes of black holes to capture larger ships. You just have to shoot down the enemy ships. You rank up and level up your ship. The next one is Swipe Up Soccer. All you have to do is not miss a single shot and you gain points the better the goal is. Check out these apps, guys. They're so fun to play and you guys would definitely enjoy them. Each character is addicted to a drug. One of the most common and partially plausible of the many theories is that each character from the series is addicted to a drug and is suffering from its after effects. SpongeBob's immense joyfulness, pain, and knowledge of the bizarre could be an acid trip, but it doesn't just stop there. Patrick's laziness and drowsiness are because of his consumption of marijuana, which has shockingly similar effects. And Squidward's poor mood and jaw performance could be the result of heroin abuse, and Mr. Krabs and Miss Puff's temper could be due to their cocaine usage. Scary is the right word for it for sure. Bikini Bottom was created due to nuclear testing. One theory suggests that Bikini Bottom is at the actual bottom of a bikini atoll of the Marshall Lands, where the US government conducted 23 nuclear tests during the Cold War, making SpongeBob and his aquatic friends the subject of nuclear radiation exposure. Alternatively, they could be the people previously working in the nuclear plant now turned to aquatic mutations, thus explaining the modern letter system and attire of these supposed creatures, cut from the real world. Watching the show after reading the changes, our outlook entirely and conveys a much more sinister tone. The main characters are the 7 deadly sins. Possibly the most ridiculously plausible theory persists that the 7 deadly sins, sloth, pride, greed, gluttony, lust, envy, and wrath, could actually be represented by the main characters of SpongeBob and Patrick, representing sloth, spending most of his days under the rock. Mr. Krabs is a clear representation of greed. Squidward's moodiness places him in wrath. Plankton's desire for Krabs' success leaves him as envious. Gary as gluttony, Sandy as pride, and finally placing SpongeBob as lust, which is possibly due to his over-friendliness. A strange interpretation, perhaps, but it works so long as you don't look too far into it. Squidward has been placed as a caretaker for SpongeBob by his rich parents due to his mental illness. SpongeBob is obviously very weird and acts very peculiarly, and can quite possibly, being all grown up and yet childish, be a victim of a unique mental illness. Therefore, his rich parents, not wanting a mentally ill child around, sent him to live alone in Bikini Bottom, but secretly sent Squidward as his caretaker to ensure that he doesn't do anything too crazy. This actually explains why Squidward doesn't move away and is still happy at the same house for many years, despite SpongeBob giving him so much torment and reasons to move. Krabby Patties are made from actual crab meat. Mr. Krabs is obsessed with money, and this theory suggests that he might have gone with great lengths to procure it. Why does he keep the secret formula so secret, even away from his own cook and the public? This theory suggests that Mr. Krabs may have executed his own kind to make the patties, thus making him a cannibal, or from his point of view, a very wealthy cannibal. The Krabby Patties are made from a crab meat substitute. A counter theory working in Mr. Krabs' favor is that he actually found a vegan crab meat substitute, thus his customers can enjoy the deliciousness of the crab meat while he is free from all the guilt. This also explains the failure of the Chum Bucket, as the people dislike the actual fish meat while they have a perfectly good substitute in the Krabby Patty, thus explaining the fact of why Plankton wants Krabs' formula ever so desperately, for the secret meaty substitute is key to success. Every character has a mental illness. Another similar theory suggests that not only just SpongeBob, but in fact everyone in Bikini Bottom has a mental disease or disorder. SpongeBob is a very neurotic and anxious at times. Patrick is easily regarded as being bipolar. Squidward is an obvious narcissist. Plankton is a sociopath, while Mr. Krabs is a covetous psychopath due to his twisted mannerisms, and this could be tracked to identify a mental illness for almost everyone in the show. Now, while this theory seems ridiculous, there is some truth to it. Obviously, that's for you to decide. It's all an incredibly sophisticated representation of global warming. One particularly dark theory harbored in the most conspiratorial corners of the internet suggests that the whole show of SpongeBob is an intricate metaphor for global warming. SpongeBob is pollution being caused by big corporations, like Mr. Krabs' business, while Patrick, the lazy Western civilization, does nothing and ends up not caring at all. The real hero is Squidward, who wants to get rid of the pollution and climate change, but is constantly shut off and ignored no matter how hard he tries. Outlandish maybe, but it makes some strange sort of sense.